And there you have it, the closing bell signaling the end of the trading day at the New York Stock Exchange. It was another roller coaster of a day on Wall Street.
The Dow Jones fell today as oil prices climbed. The Dow down just under 450 points. The Nasdaq and S&P 500 both ended the day in the red as well, down more than 1%. Joining us now for more on this is Hope King, a business reporter for Axios. Hope, thanks for joining us. I'll tell you, anyone looking at the markets could get a crazy case of whiplash the last few days. What is driving things, and what was driving things today?
You're reading my mind. Whiplash is something that we have to get used to. We are looking at so many different factors that are impacting the markets. You mentioned one big one today, which was oil prices. The other, of course, is the war in Ukraine. What investors are looking at right now is a really messy picture, and day to day they are having to recalibrate what they think might happen and how they want to place their bets on where they want their money to go and to grow. And so oil prices really impact psychologically consumers, how much they're going to have to pay more now, so of course, at the pump. That feeds into inflation fears, so that was playing a big role today. The stalemate that's happening right now between Ukraine and Russia means that there's really no clear picture, and investors really don't like that. They really hate uncertainty. So again, that key word that you used, Jim, whiplash, just keep a lookout for that.
Sounds like we got to get used to it, because that uncertainty looks like it may be here to stay for a little bit. Hope, I want to ask you about the Chinese markets. They are slowly recovering after tanking at the start of the month. How is the combination of the war in Ukraine and COVID lockdowns there impacting China's economy?
There's a lot of attention right now on the country of China. As you mentioned, the COVID lockdowns that are continuing there, despite the rest of the world really easing up on lockdowns and health precautions, makes it a really precarious situation, primarily because the supply chain issues that we've seen over the past 2 years will not get better until we see more people back to work, the ports opening up, roads opening up. You're seeing that again close down because of their no COVID sort of policy. And those lockdowns are again impacting factories, impacting workers. So those concerns are now once again weighing on the rest of the world. And when it comes to the Ukraine crisis, I mean, we know that there is also a lot riding on what China may or may not do. So that attention is also right now driven directly onto China.
Hope, let's follow up a little bit on China. You were just talking, I know you wrote an article recently talking about China's success at creating new bunnies. I think you said in the article China's producing new billionaires faster than any other country in the world. Can you share with us a little bit about why this is so significant and why it's happening?
Yeah, absolutely. So there is an annual report which looks at the world's wealthiest people and men and women, and a majority of those are coming both from the U.S. and China. Now, the distinction is that while there may be more billionaires produced in China, that's largely as a result of the huge consumer base that China has. It is the world's most populous country, 1.4 billion people. That translates into 1.4 billion potential customers, right? And so when you have Chinese companies able to produce and sell into such a mass market, you're going to see a lot of companies do really well. And as a result, the companies, their leaders, do really well. Now, it's notable that the U.S., even though they do lag behind in the absolute number of people who are billionaires, the actual wealth that they hold and the impact, if you look at Elon Musk, for example, and Jeff Bezos, their impact economically is far greater on an international scale. So that's one of the important distinctions.
So interesting what's going on there and around the world. Hope King from Axios, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate your insight.
Thank you, as always.